You are you and I'm not me, and where we are is where we be. If it's night or day, the time is now. To get involved, I'll show you how. I'll run the show, you'll do your part. We'll have a blast by making art. Come join the gang, no need to fear. Just bring along your imaginosphere.
I am not me. I am art. And I am your host of Art Right Now. I'm welcoming you to Series 2, Episode 6 of Art Right Now, and you are about to experience and create some art, which is, in my humble opinion, the best way to spend a Sunday, with all due respect to God. But before we get to that, as there are probably now bodies tuning in from all over the globe, we should take a moment to unite as one singular collective. We like to start things with a toast, a simple shared action in order to link our creative energies and get us all on the same art page of the art book. Our toasts are crowdsourced. And so I would like you to charge your glasses to enjoy today's toast, courtesy of Instagram acolyte. Let's have a look. Eldridge Joanne. To mini eggs. It is Easter Sunday today, and Cadbury Mini Eggs are going to be on the menu for a huge amount of people out there. I want to show you very quickly my Easter shopping this week. Tony's Chocolonely. Tony's Chocolonely. Why did I purchase Tony's Chocolonely? Because Tony's Chocolonely is the only chocolate that can guarantee that at no point in the production of this wonderful piece of chocolate was child labour involved. It's the only one. Nothing else. No other company can guarantee that no child labour was used in the production of their chocolate. That's what Tony's Chocolonely means. You can eat that chocolate and you can feel smug. But you know what else I got? Mini eggs. Because these are so tasty that they affect my morals. That's when you know that you've got some tasty chocolate on your hands. When tasting it, even though it might have the blood of innocence mixed in with the delightful chocolate, you say, I simply don't care enough. To Cadbury's Mini Eggs. Let's double down. Hello, now buddies. How are we doing? Who is here? What's going on? It's Maple Panda. Hi, Smarties. Hello to you, Maple Panda. Hello, TB Douglas. Lovely to see you in the chat boat. Just meandering on the cool blue waters of the imaginosphere. SJBeck72, hello to you. Lovely to see you. Mini Eggs is a great shout. It's a wonderful shout. Really, really nice. Monkey Pixie Funk gets free Tonys from work. My gosh. What a job. What a job. Give me those Tonys. Give me that free chocolate. You going to pay me as well? Forget about it. Forget about it. How are we all doing? Now, I would like to, I say like to, I will have to start this episode with an apology. At the tail end of last week's quiz, cherished acolyte TB Douglas paid for a 16-second chill dance party, but I got so excited by the longest tiebreaker we've ever had on I Am Smart. It was an absolute nail-biter that I ended the episode dancelessly, and that made me upset. I don't like breaking promises to anybody other than my dentist and myself. So, if we can, if we may, if I might, Let's just rectify some things. Let's just rectify some things, shall we? Let's get you on there. You're already there. Let's get you on there. It's not this. Is it gorgeous? Yes, it is. It is. So let's go back to leisure. Let's get ready. And TB, this is for you. Dance off that chocolate. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful stuff. Back to white, back to white. Can't hear the music. Why can't you hear the music? Oh, because I didn't. Well, I'm afraid there's absolutely no way of doing that other than that's right. There we go. There we go. We got there in the end. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Gosh, there we go. Thank you, TB. Thank you, TB. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Got some little bit of admin. A little bit of admin to do, of course. Today's episode is Art Right Now, Series 2, Episode 6. But beyond that, I don't know what it's going to be called. I do not know what it is going to be called. I don't have that information. So if at any point you are confronted with a short phrase or a long word that makes you feel something, I want you to let me know. This can be a phrase that I say, something somebody writes in the chat, or something that blossoms in your own imaginosphere inspired by the show. You take that word, you take that phrase, you pop it in the chat, preceded by ep name. Do you understand? For instance, if I was talking about somebody who, for whatever reason, birth defect, some kind of crazy drug side effect, was born with not one, not two, but 4 heads, and they were a bit spammy, you might put in the chat, ep name, forehead. Yeah? Or if you really like the toast that I did, you might write, blood-soaked chocolate. Morally ambiguous chocolate. That might be too much. But you understand the point that I'm trying to make. If at any point you feel a phrase that comes to you via your ears or your eyes or your imaginosphere, and it's less than 25 characters including spaces, get it in the chat, and you might just end up being the namer of this episode, which is a great thing to celebrate Easter with. What did you get, Freester? I got a lovely chocolate egg. I ate some mini eggs, which were great despite the lack of clarity on whether child labour was involved in them. And I named an episode. That's a lovely thing. So just make sure keeping this engaged, and we'll get some amazing ep names. Can I earn a little bit of money to start off with? Is that okay if I do that? Earn a little bit of money? Let's start off. It's bSquared. bSquared events. I love bSquared. They have provided me with a modest stipend of money for reading out their words for a long time now. And I'm very, very grateful for it. I'm going through a very lean period at the moment. Not a lot of money coming in at all, which means that I am having to take a lot more medical tests, medical subject experiences upcoming. We'll go through them a little bit later. And so I'm very grateful to bSquared for giving me this money. So let's see what we've got. They say money can't buy happiness, but one man has the courage to try to prove that wrong. Fabio Gutierrez just won $1,100 on a lottery scratch-off and will be in Astoria Park on the 23rd of May, that's in Queens, New York, to give that money. Oh, lovely. What a nice gesture from Fabio there. Give that money to whoever promises to be his friend for a full calendar year. He has been told he's a difficult person to stay friends with, but he hopes that by paying for a year of friendship, it will give him the foothold he needs to become proper free friends with somebody. Come to Astoria Park and be a chum for money. Oh, Fabio. That one's just made me feel quite sad. Anybody else? I mean, if nothing else, if you go to Astoria Park on the 23rd, what's that? Wednesday? It's a lovely park. It'll be a lovely day. You get lovely views of New York. Lovely views of Roosevelt Island, I believe. Name chum for money. That's good. TB straight in there. We've got Fabio to thank for that one. Let's get this gone. Let's get this going. Chum for money. TB. Thank you, TB. Let's go back to Maine and let's just try and get past that, shall we? Let's just try and get past that. Fabio's I don't want to say bummed us all out, but he's that's a sad reason to be engaging with art in that way. Obviously, a certain proportion of that $1,100 will have been given to bSquared. So I don't know whether he'll be able to give the full $1,100, but I mean, maybe just try and be his friend anyway. Something to consider. If you don't want to go there on the 23rd, though, and you are looking for something to do, might I suggest an art gallery?
It's the finest gallery you'll ever find, and it's free to enter because it's all in your mind. House of Notme.
House of Notme. That's right, it's the House of Notme, ladies and gentlemen. House of Notme. Let's get a box involved. Let's get an explanation involved. It is the world's first and only imaginosphere-based art gallery. Only in your head. And you are the curators. What art will be displayed when we are not bound by the laws of reality or cost? Let's pick our chief curator and see the list to pick from this week. We have got, I think it's got to be TB. TB got in there early with the name. TB, you are chief curator for this week of House of Notme. Let's see what your options are. We need 3 of these, TB. 3 of these. We've got No Pain, No Jane. We've got Plucking Big. We've got Oil of the Beholder. Almost Drama, Drive Me Crazy, Home Sweet Pie, Leave Me Alone, Holidays Done, Anti-Painting, and Echoes of Vanilla. TB, which of these 3 would you like to go forward with? Which of these 3? Number 4, number 5, number 10, please. Number 4, number 5, number 10, please. We have number 1. We've got Almost Drama. Wonderful choice. Number 2. Oh no, it should just be that, shouldn't it? Yeah. Number 2. We'll go with Drive Me Crazy. That's a great one as well. I think if you've picked 3 winners here, TB, which does make it trickier. Number 10. Ooh. Echoes of Vanilla. So let's get rid of our 10 options. Let's just go in with 3 options. Let's hold off on that chat box just for a second while we go through what these mean. Do you understand? Why does that not? Spreadsheets. Let's open up the right spreadsheet. Come on. So sorry. House of Notme exhibits. Here we go. Okay, so we have got almost drama. This is an interesting one. This is an art exhibit that consists of pages from personal diaries featuring very sordid details about people you've never heard of. It's almost drama. If you knew the people, oh my gosh, it would be sordid. But you don't know them. But these are real journal pages. So it's an interesting balance. I think. What's next? Drive Me Crazy. This one we've had a while. This is nice. It's quite involved, so pay attention to this one. You wear a boiler suit. I should probably just put this underneath the camera, shouldn't I? Make it a bit easier. Oh, but that does make it smaller. 200%, please. Thank you. Drive Me Crazy. You wear a boiler suit made of grass and enter a room with 7 goats that are hungry for grass but not hugely comfortable with human contact. It's a physical exhibit. It's a physical experience of an exhibit. They're hungry for grass. They're not hugely comfortable with human contact. Are they having to overcome their fears in order to nibble on your boiler suit? It's interesting. There's a lot going on here. And then echoes of vanilla, nice and simple. An immersive audio experience of large-mouthed people eating panna cotta. So you go in, there's I don't know exactly what it is, but it's an immersive audio experience of large-mouthed people eating panna cotta. So it could be disgusting, could also put you in the mood for panna cotta. I'm sure if the cafe was, worth a darn, then they would be putting panna cotta on the menu. So these are our three options here. We've got almost drama, pages from personal diaries featuring sordid details about people that you've never heard of. Sordid. We have got Drive Me Crazy. You wear a boiler suit made of grass and enter a room with 7 goats that are hungry for grass but not hugely comfortable with human contact. Are they gonna be happy or not? And echoes of vanilla, an immersive audio experience of large-mouthed people eating panna cotta. This is an imaginary art gallery. All 3 of these exhibits are vying for your vote. Which one would you like to see in the House of Notme? Very, very exciting. We're going to have our countdown now. And when we have our countdown, I want you to get your emotes ready. This is... that one's forehead. This is wow. And that's face, I think. Face, wow, and forehead. So make sure you get your emotes ready and then unleash them at the appropriate time. Let's have our countdown. Once again, this is pages from personal diaries featuring sordid details about people that you've never heard of. That's almost drama. Drive Me Crazy. You wear a boiler suit made of grass and enter a room with 7 goats that are hungry for grass but not hugely comfortable with human contact. And echoes of vanilla, an immersive audio experience of large-mouthed people eating panna cotta. What do we think? We've got a tie game so far. Mapes is making the difference. We're going drama. Game of whole. I think you were always fighting an uphill battle there. Oh, SJPEG72 as well. Who saw that coming? If only we had a 5th person who was watching. drive me crazy. Nobody's going for the goats. Nobody's going for the goats. And that's your decision. I believe in times past, when it comes to a tie, you think I have to decide, TB. I think you have to decide. As chief curator, I think the deciding vote goes to TB. You can change your mind. You can go for Echoes of Vanilla if you wish. But if you want to stick to your guns, TB, then it's Almost Drama. What is making it into the House of Notme? What exhibit are we all going to experience in the next couple of minutes? That's a key point. Stick to Almost Drama. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Congratulations to Almost Drama for making it into the House of Notme. Dum 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 da 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 da. Wonderful stuff. Thank you so much, Maple Panda. Appreciate that. But of course, we are all going to now visit the House of Notme and its brand new exhibit, Almost Drama. So we've got 30 seconds to experience it. And when you do experience it, I want you to be thinking and then type out just a single observation about your experience, a single detail about your experience within the House of Notme, experiencing the brand new exhibit, Almost Drama. Once again, these are pages from personal diaries featuring sordid details about people that you've never heard of. Let's visit the House of Notme. When you visit, your exhibit will be unique. I want you to tell me something about it, some detail of your version of this exhibit. If you're struggling, feel free to close your eyes and focus on your senses. What can you see, smell, feel, hear and taste? What is around you? How do you interact with the exhibit? Do you interact, or is this just something that's happening in front of you? Let me know one single detail as we visit the House of Notme. What have we got? What do we have? Almost Drama. Oh, lovely work. Let's see. Let's get the chat box going. Let's get rid of these. Those at number 46 are really pushing the boundaries of social norms. This is getting sordid. This is getting sordid a lot quicker than I was anticipating. Those at number 46. So clearly Maple Panda has read an excerpt from a diary about the people at number 46. How are they pushing the boundaries of social norms? Is it some kind of lascivious, lustful display? Is it some kind of... Are they nudists, perhaps? Or nudists getting their bits and pieces out? It's never the people you want to be nudists, is it? It's never the people you want to be nudists that are the nudists. Maybe it could be that. Maybe it could be just playing loud music. Maybe it could be... Oh, how interesting. How are they pushing it? Maybe they have a ride on lawnmower and they're just going around and around that front garden. And you think, oh, well, maybe they're just mowing the lawn. They had it paved over a couple of years ago. They're just doing it to create a havoc, to create a stink. They're playing their music loud on their ride on lawnmower. It's John Deere drama. Wonderful stuff. TB Douglas, I see some drama that I'm convinced is about my old teacher. Woo! TB, I see some drama that I'm convinced is about my old teacher. How very, very exciting. About potentially them being an exceptional teacher. That's not that sordid. That's not that salacious. It specifies in the description, sordid details. Interesting. Convinced us about my old teacher. Maybe an old teacher having an inappropriate relationship with another teacher, perhaps. Maybe it's two science teachers who certainly have some chemistry and are getting physical by interacting with each other's biology. Gosh, that's made me feel a little bit uncomfortable there. A little bit uncomfortable, but potentially it is. I've reported that spam. Thank you, Maple Panda. Pelvic Sheriff. I mean, I have to say it's a nice Account suspended or deactivated already. Ban. Get rid. Thank you, Maple Panda. It was an inappropriate relationship. You're right. Woo! That's the power of art. That's the power of art, TB. Percolated through. Maple Panda, let's just say maybe we're talking about methods of hanging out washing. I don't even want to know anymore. But fabulous. What a very successful visit to the house of Notme. And we know that it's successful because they're not all that successful. Sometimes it's a little bit dry, isn't it? Sometimes it's like getting blood from a stone, but we've had some great details from this one. Wonderful. So thank you so much to all of you for helping to curate this gallery and make it real. Feel free to visit anytime because, of course, the House of Notme is always open. Let's go back to Maine. Fabulous, fabulous work. That was exciting. What's everybody's Easter haul like? People smashing out a huge amount of chocolate, a lot of Cadbury stuff. Going fancy, going Thorntons. Any Americans out there with just chowing down on some not the best quality marshmallows, aka Peeps? I'd be interested to hear. Let me know. We've got something quite fabulous. Quite fabulous. Guys. Lots of lovely treats today. Good job to you, SJBeck72. Lots of lovely treats today. I say, well done you. TB Douglas, I'm in America, but no Peeps for me. I'm not sure they're really edible. Yeah, maybe I've got it all wrong. Maybe they're not edible. Maybe they're some kind of building material. Maybe that's the problem. Yeah, good point, TB. Good thinking.
When creativity's overflowing, it sometimes works hard without you knowing. So here's some memories that probably never happened.
Guys, my imaginosphere is so powerful. It can create ideas and thoughts that are so full of life and detail that my poor old brain can't differentiate between conjurings and real memories. So I've got a lot of memories in my head of stories that, in all likelihood, probably never happened. And I would love to exorcise one of them, if I may, by telling you a story. Is that okay? Would you mind? Would you mind if I just told you a story? Maple Panda, Peeps promise so much aesthetically but disappoint on every other level. It's a shame. Maybe they're just kind of some kind of decorative, some kind of seasonal decorative, like a Toby jug of some kind, like a Peep Toby jug, something like that, Peep jug. And in fact, you're just supposed to pop them on a shelf and definitely not eat them. You wouldn't eat a Toby jug, would you? So this is a story that is quite kind of seasonally appropriate. It was around this time of year, a few years ago, this was back when I was still in the UK, that I had lunch plans with an old chum. And when I say old chum, I mean a person who is old. It's my old mucker, Sir Paul McCartney. He'd always say to me, Notme, you don't treat me like I'm one of the greatest songwriters the world has ever produced. I like that. I'll treat anyone normally, To me, he's just Sir Paul, the old left-handed man I sometimes have lunch with. Anyway, he picks me up and we're driving along and I ask him where we're going. And he says that he heard that morning that this particular restaurant in Tenterden did particularly good fish finger sandwiches. It's one of my favourite lunches, so I had to try it. And I asked him, I said, Sir Paul, if we're going for fish finger sandwiches, I assume that this is quite a casual, no-frills restaurant. And he said,
No, actually, it's very fancy. I think they're going to get a Michelin star, you know.
Paul, buddy, you heard about this restaurant this morning. It's fancy. I think we're going to need a reservation. And he waves me off.
Oh, it'll be fine, it'll be fine.
He's an optimist. Anyway, we get there and it is fancy. I couldn't see a single T-shirt with anything on it. We ask for a table and the woman at the front, bless her, she winces. She says she's very sorry. It'll be a wait of at least 45 minutes. I think, well, we've only got ourselves to blame. But Paul doesn't take that for an answer. Paul walks into the restaurant. He gets his phone out. He strides past the maitre d' to a table by the window with 4 people sitting at it. He taps away on his phone, and the phone plays a little blast of A Hard Day's Night. It's been a hard day. And he says,
Do you know that song? I wrote that. I was in the Beatles, the greatest band of all time, so I think we'll be sitting here,
And the people all just agree, They get up, they take their own plates away, and we sit down. It's one of the benefits of being in the Beatles, You get to get a table if you want a table. We order, the fish finger sandwiches come, and can I just say, they are worth the drive when they arrive. Very flaky fish, beautiful breadcrumbs, tartar sauce that could be on the front page of a fashion magazine. It's absolutely gorgeous. But all the while that we're eating, Sir Paul is looking out the window at a sign across the way. It's advertising an Easter egg hunt. Here's where it gets topical. And there's a big picture of a hedgehog on it for some reason. And Paul is absolutely transfixed, so much so that as soon as he finishes his sandwich, he's up and he's out and he's walking over to the garden where the sign is. Didn't pay for the meal either, I will say, but nobody seemed to mind. They'd got a photo with Paul and I and the owner of the restaurant, and I guess that publicity pays for itself. Celebs, eh? Anyway, we get to the Easter egg place and it's empty, but there's a pair of guys who are in charge, and Paul says to them that he wants to have a go. And they say,
Sorry, sir, this is for children only.
And Paul gets his phone out, and he plays a little blast of Yesterday. Yesterday, I met a person so far away, boo, boo, I know that and he says,
Do you know that song? I wrote that song. I was in the Beatles, So I think my friend and I are going to have a go at the Easter egg hunt.
And the guy says, Of course, and sets us up. He gets what he wants. The setup was a little strange, I will say. He said that it was a competitive egg hunt, me versus Paul. He was hunting for red eggs, and I was hunting for blue. I said to Paul, maybe we should swap, so it's red for me and for you blue, which is a Beatles song. Now, I was quite pleased that I came up with that wordplay in the moment, but the guys in charge were very insistent that I was looking for the blue ones, and Paul didn't seem fussed, so I let it go. They also said that they only had one basket, and Paul should have it, seeing as he was a knight of the realm, but for me they had some special egg hunt pants, which is a thing that I'd never heard of, but essentially they were made of rubber and a bit baggy, and you pop them on, and each egg goes into the pants instead of a basket. It's strange in the cold light of day, of course, but when someone's talking confidently, you just go along with it, Plus, I was still glowing from the fish fingers. They really were wonderful. So it's a 3 and a 2 and a 1, and off we go with the egg hunt. And I'm finding a few eggs. But when I reach down and grab them, they don't feel like they're made of plastic or even chocolate, but jelly. Little blue jelly eggs. And I'm popping them into my pants. And as the pants get filled up with more and more eggs, they're losing their structural integrity, and they stop being eggs, kind of, and instead just basically turn into a kind of jelly casserole in my rubber pants. And I think, well, if I'm going through this, I'd better at least win. So I stopped to look around at how Paul's doing, only to see that Paul's dropped his basket, which was pretty full of what looked like actual eggs that can only be described as normal plastic eggs, and he's walked outside and he's flagged down someone in a fancy car, a Bentley maybe. I'm not a big car guy. It's very luxurious though. He's got his phone out and he played what sounded like a couple of seconds of "If I need you're the one that I'll be dreaming of." And the driver's got out of the car, Paul's got in the car, and Paul sped off, leaving the driver and me standing in a garden in East Sussex, Easter weekend, and only I'm wearing rubber pants filled with a loose jelly concoction which feels terrible around my genitals, with no way of getting home. And it's at this point that the two guys who are running the egg hunt burst out laughing. And I think to myself, that's rude. And then they pulled off their masks to reveal Ant and Dec. Unbelievable. Those cheeky Geordie buggers.
Dec, man, the plan worked, man. Indeed it did. We knew you were having lunch with Sir Paul McCartney today, and we know he loves a fish finger sandwich, so we sent him an anonymous email telling him all about this restaurant, and we knew his favourite animal was a hedgehog, so we knew we'd get the pair of yous over here, and then it was only a matter of time before we'd get you filling your pants with jelly, which feels horrible, doesn't it?
I nodded, because, it really did. Not to mention it wasn't exactly warm that day.
Dec, man, we beat him, man. We did indeed, Anthony. You embarrassed us at that fun fair, and that was the biggest mistake of your life. This is what you get for messing with the Kings of Light Entertainment, you absolute shower.
However, I have trawled through the restaurant's Instagram and there is no photo of Paul there, with or without me, so I do actually think I made that one up. And that's the story. Macca. Yes, Macca. Yep. Where was he? There he was. Good picture, Notme. Thank you, SJX72. Appreciate that. Gosh, that's a great friend to have. He is a great friend. I mean, he would be a great friend again if it's an actual friend. Might not be an actual friend. I'm not entirely sure. Egg hunt pants. Yeah, my memory is that it wasn't great. It wasn't great. It's just that kind of squishy sensation around your bathing suit area is not particularly nice. Not particularly nice. TB, pants filled with jelly. Thank you, TB. Wonderful. So thank you so much for allowing me to exercise that story. Thank you very much. Yeah. We got Macca involved. Finally we got Macca involved. Let's go back to Maine. Lovely stuff. For those of you who are confused about the Ant and Dec appearance, they have a vendetta against me. I pulled a prank on them in a previous story where I got them pooped on by lots of birds at a fun fair. So suffice it to say they're not particularly happy with me. And they're looking for revenge. And do you know what? You can't really be getting involved in pranks without a healthy fear of reprisal. Just ask George Clooney. Clooney knows. We've only got one more segment to go, but it's a good one, guys. It's a good one, and it's one that we haven't had for a while, so I'm very excited to get going on it.
You want the best? Now here's the score. I'll give you that in groups of 4. That's not enough. You want some more? Here's Native Warrior Crazy Horse.
Rushmore indeed. My goodness. Welcome to Rushmore, where I, not me, tell you the best 4 things of a thing, and you let me know what the 5th thing should be. Today we are looking at the Rushmore of powerful gestures. Very interesting, very interesting. And while I'm detailing the Roosevelt, the Lincoln, the Washington, and the Jefferson, I want you to be thinking of what else could be in this list, so that when I ask for the crazy horse, I might just choose your suggestion. I'll say that again. When I ask for the crazy horse, I might just choose your suggestion. Very exciting, very exciting. It's interactive, which the seminar said was a good idea, getting people involved, allowing them to feel like part of the show. So what have we got? Number 1, powerful gestures. The wave, the humble wave. You might have been expecting something different, but no, it's a humble wave. Stuart Copeland, drummer for the Police, once said that music was a unique art form in that it could take over your body. When you hear good music, you have to move, and you don't always have complete control over how your body does that. The music has taken control. But, and I don't think I'd ever be saying this, I disagree with Stuart Copeland. I believe that... Wait, sorry. Getting a beach ball of death here. There's no real reason why I should be. No, what are you doing? No. I believe when you hear something funny, you're not making the decision to laugh. And when you see something gruesome in a horror film, you're not making the decision to look at whoever you're watching with and make a scared face to see if they're scared as well. And similarly, when you see someone wave at you, you're not making the decision to wave back. It just happens. That's Ken Watanabe. Go on, see if you can avoid the temptation. We've got an example video here. Look at him. Waving. Imagine he was standing in front of you, or across the road from you, or standing on a boat moving down a river on whose bank you happen to be strolling. You're waving, aren't you? You can't help yourself. He's still going. Still waving. Yep. Hello. Still waving. Yep. It's going on longer than I changed. Got tired with his hand changing the... Are we done? We done? Are we done? Thank you. Kind of weird. Maybe you weren't waving the whole time there, but you were waving for a part of it. I know you were. And that is the power of the wave. And that power isn't just infectious, it is positive. A wave is a happy thing. You can't wave bitterly or jealously or withholding love. A wave says, I am alive and I am here and you are there and we are both alive. The only waves that aren't designed explicitly to be reciprocated are arguably the cutest waves of all. Waves conducted by children at my sons, Jesus and the Scamp. They won't be waving at them in this instance. This is them in the bath. It's just the first picture that I could find of the two of them. Children know, even in their soupy, malformed brains, that these dogs won't wave back, and they don't care. They're not giving to receive. They just want the dogs to know that they're excited to see them, and that is a beautiful thing. Oh, thank you for the emote work. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful. Waves are infectious. And that's number one. That's a powerful gesture. That is a powerful gesture, a wave. You see a wave, you give a wave back. You're not in control of that. You're not in control of that. What's next? A wink. Interesting. In this divided world, connection is a very sought-after currency. We feel more isolated than we ever have done before, but we remain human. We remain social creatures, and so we crave that interpersonal bond. we crave a tribe, we crave allegiance. But what if that allegiance could be weaponized in some way? What if you could be connected to somebody without your consent? Enter the wink. When you are winked at, you are in cahoots. It doesn't matter who is winking at you or what ruse they are plotting. You are part of their crime now. Oh, let's see an example. Here we go.
Yeah, so sorry. I know we've got that meeting later, but I really don't think I'm going to be able to come in today. I feel awful.
Sure. You wanted to spend a day with your friend. You're going to a theme park on a Thursday to avoid the queues, but you didn't sign up to be involved in sick pay fraud. You don't want to be hauled in front of a workplace tribunal, but that wink means that you are culpable. You don't have a choice in the matter. It's just happening. Let's have another example.
Oh, no, you can have everything. No, that's what I mean. You can have absolutely all of this. Yeah, we knew you were coming. We prepared. We did our homework. It's all vegan.
Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? You're making me an accomplice to one of the gravest crimes in our modern world, the feeding of animal products to a vegan. Absolutely disgraceful. But the wink means that I have to keep that terrible, terrible secret, and that taste in my mouth will sully whatever vegan goods you have cooked for this meal. Lovely stuff. Thank you, TB. Thank you. Let's have one more. Let's raise the stakes.
Oh, thank you for saying that. No, we're absolutely chuffed to bits, aren't we, Kev? Yeah. My gosh, it's just mad that there's this little human being in the world now that's part me and part Kev.
What? Issues of paternity? A soap opera level deceit? This is the subterfuge that I have to take with me to my grave? All because of a wink. That's power. And let me take this opportunity to say, sorry, Kev, I didn't have a choice. 'Twas the wink kept me silent. Should that be? No, we've already gone on to the next one. Saucy eyebrows. Saucy eyebrows are the next one. We didn't even wait for it. Guys, you know me. I don't like the lascivious. Carnal pleasures, for me, get in the way of creative pursuits. Imagine if you could take all the time you'd ever spent being intimate or trying to be intimate or thinking about being intimate and retroactively transfer it over to trying to be a musical theatre star. Would you have a Tony by now? Maybe, right? I just think the world would be made better with a little less slap and tickle and a little more Rodgers and Hammerstein. That being said, if you must engage in a little bit of How's Your Father, the best way to approach it is with the grace and subtlety of innuendo. Innuendo, for the uninitiated, is saying something smutty without actually saying something smutty, and the best way to follow an innuendo is with a rapid raising of the eyebrows. The power of this gesture is that it can even make things that are not innuendo sound like innuendo. Check this out.
The meeting has been rescheduled to 3 p.m. because of scheduling conflicts.
What are those scheduling conflicts? What are those scheduling conflicts? Because I think they are inappropriate in the workplace.
The municipal waste collection timetable has been updated for the winter months.
What's going on in those winter months? What's happening to the municipal waste pickup timetable? It's sordid. It's sordid. We've got one more.
Succeeding in politics isn't easy, and so you're really going to have to impress me if you want me to give you a position in my cabinet.
Okay, maybe that one's a little bit sexy. I could have written that one a little bit better, but they all seemed like they were filthy, right? Simply because of those eyebrows. For me, they're the only thing that knocked down the Home Alone films a notch. The fact that when Kevin realises he's on his own, sans family, in both movies, he does the eyebrows. You're in a very perilous situation here, okay? Why is this sexual for you, Kevin? Also, you're 8 years old. It makes no sense. Saucy eyebrows. Very, very powerful gestures, okay? Should be used very sparingly. And speaking of dangerous, the final entry into this Rushmore is the forbidden sequence. Guys, when I was 8 years old, there was a boy in my year called Winston. This isn't actually Winston, it's just a stock photo of a young boy, but he was excused from school to go to Thailand on an extended break with his family, and when he came back, he was a changed man. Boy. He was bursting with incredible stories about the Far East, as it was then called, and delighted us all in telling them. There were tales of drinking and fireworks and seeing a lizard the size of a Shetland pony. Several of the stories were clearly false, including an easily refutable one about him getting a facial tattoo, despite the fact that he did not have a facial tattoo, but one stood out to me and has never left me. One day, Winston left his family as they were shopping and ventured down a deserted back street. He encountered a man as old and wizened as a January jack-o'-lantern. Winston told him about his bullies at school, namely a child called Oliver, who really did rule the roost at our school. Names have obviously been changed for the sake of privacy. And asked the man if there was anything that he could provide to help him with the bully, such as throwing stars, a bow staff, or a Japanese tanto knife. Instead, the old man told Winston of a technique, a series of forbidden hand movements that, if performed correctly, right in somebody's face, could rid them of their sanity. Yeah, that's right. You perform the forbidden sequence, and the person goes irreversibly mad. And you might chuckle to yourself and say that that's absolute nonsense. But Winston said that he tried it on a chicken and the chicken started mooing like a cow. So you tell me. He didn't ever use the forbidden sequence on Oliver, the bully, but I think just knowing that he had it in his back pocket gave him a little bit more confidence, a little bit more swagger around the schoolyard, and he did manage to make it through the rest of the year without peeing in his pants. He described the sequence to us, and that knowledge has stayed with me. And now, just this once, I'm going to perform it in the hope that it doesn't work when it's over the internet. Okay? Here is the forbidden sequence.
What? I'm not going to do that. Are you insane?
That's probably a good idea. Better to be safe than sorry. I rely on all of you being very tangibly, very palpably sane. If you all went mad, you probably wouldn't watch me, would you? So there we go. That's the forbidden sequence. These are our 4 powerful gestures. The only question left is, there he is. There's that crazy horse. But what is the crazy horse? Feel free to pop it in the chat. Oh, I can get some emotes in there, can't I? I can get some emotes in there. Get it in the chat, your suggestion for what should be the crazy horse of powerful gestures, while we go through a couple of these comments, because this is a lot of people have been enjoying this. It's very hard not to wave. I did it hoping it would make him stop. It's the power of a wave. You see that wave? You're going back with a wave. You can't help it. You can't help it. Wave at a next bus you see. Wave at a bus driver. Doesn't matter how hard-nosed that bus driver is, whether it's even, the toughest bus drivers of all who are given the 3 o'clock shift where they have to take the school children home. Even those who look like they wouldn't smile on Christmas morning. You give them a wave, they're giving you a wave back. It's human. It's human. Lovely pic of Jesus and the Scamp. Yeah, let's maybe get that back. We maybe had to gloss over that a little bit, unfortunately. Look at those little buggers. They're not very happy at that point because they are wet, which they try not to do as much as possible. So did I, says SJBeck72. Lovely, lovely. I got a couple of you. Ep name, 'Twas the Wink. Oh, that's a great one. Ep name, A Little Less Slap and Tickle. Oh. That might be too long. But thank you, MPF. Eyebrows, faux sure. Filthy eyebrows. Yeah, absolutely. Well, so it looks like there's maybe no crazy horse here. No other gestures that anyone can think of? No other gestures? We're not voting for the best one, Maple Panda. We are suggesting our own ones. We're not voting for... we don't do the Rushmore very much, do we? We don't do Rushmore very much, which means that people probably have forgotten the rules. That's absolutely fine, Maple Panda. That's absolutely fine. Widened eyes to signify disbelief. That's interesting. Let's see what we've got. That's good, because it's a little bit of panic. We're in a sugar coma now. It's 10 p.m. Absolutely fine. On Easter Sunday. It was wrong of me to ask anything of you. Widened eyes to signify disbelief. I like that. Because it's that panic, isn't it? It's that panic. When you said something that you shouldn't, perhaps. You said something that you shouldn't. You're looking to your friend like, help me out. You can't really see it because the reflection's in there. That's nice. Cheesy grin like Cheetos. Lovely. Big cheesy grin always works. Narrowed eyes with a false smile to signify distaste. That's nice. A little bit of Parker Posey and White Lotus. I like that a lot, TB. I like that a lot. Just a cat with sunglasses. I think we're going TB. Narrowed eyes with a full smile. I like that. That is the crazy horse. That is the crazy horse of powerful gestures. I'm just proud of each and every one of you. Not a single one of you for mentioning, for suggesting a Roman salute. Because say what you will about narrowed eyes with a full smile, saucy eyebrows, a wave, the forbidden technique even, they're not going to lose you your job. But a Roman salute in this day and age, my God, you'll be handed your pink slip nice and quick. Thank you guys. That was a wonderful, wonderful episode of Rushmore. Let's head back to Maine. Let's get this poll going. Gosh, this has been a long episode. I wasn't expecting this one. New poll. What should the ep name be? chum for money, pants filled with jelly, twas the wink, little less slap. I have to do an ampersand. Oh yeah, that one works. And that little less slap and tickle is the limit. How exciting is that? And then the final one, there was one. Oh, that was TB as well. Filthy eyebrows. I'm going to do filthy eyebrows. So it's 80% likely that this is going to be TB naming the episode, but you never know. You never know. Let's get that poll going. Let's get that poll going. Make your choice. It's chum for money, it's pants filled with jelly, twas the wink, little less slap and tickle, or filthy eyebrows. What do we think? What do we think? While we're discussing that, I will mention, as I say, money-wise, things are not going particularly well for me. So what I am going to be doing is lots of submitting my body to medical experiments. So we have a quiz next week. Looking forward to that. I am smart. That's going to be great. So that's 4 in April. But to make up for that, there will not be live tainment on the 4th. There will not be live tainment on the 11th of May. We'll have an Art Right Now on the 18th. We'll have nothing on the 25th. We'll have nothing on the 1st of June. We'll have an I Am Smart on the 8th. An Art Right Now on the 15th. And then potentially that might lead us straight into our summer break. Obviously, there's no point in doing live tainment when nobody's here. Everybody's on holiday. It doesn't really work out that well. So I was always going to have July and August off. But then there's 2 extra weeks before that. So maybe we'll come back in. We'll do one on the 6th and then we'll break for summer. But yeah, so you really need to make sure that you're watching every single episode of Live Tainment upcoming because there's not going to be that many. So over the next... What is this, the 20th? In the next 1, 2, 3, 4 months, you've only got 4, potentially 5 episodes of live tainment because I just need to earn a little bit of money. So, yeah, to just make sure that we're aware of this. Quiz next week. Art Right Now on the 18th. Quiz on the 8th, Art Right Now on the 15th, maybe one on the 6th, and then nothing until the 31st of August, which will be our I Am Smart, the Not Me quiz, back to school special, which is all NART. It's all NART. It's going to be very exciting. And we have a winner. It's, gosh, lovely, lovely stuff. I was hoping it was going to be the pants. The pants one felt very evocative to me, but that's fine. So that was... Series 2, Episode 6 of Art Right Now is in the books. Art Right Now, Series 2, Episode 6, Filthy Eyebrows. I think for me, this episode really holds up. I think it's very exciting. We didn't have a video section, but I don't think we needed it. I just don't think we needed it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Easter Sunday. I hope you recover well from your food comas. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I hope you feel like your spirit, your art, and your life is at a better place now than it was an hour ago. And I can't wait to do it all next time. So we've got a quiz next week. I Am Smart, the Not Me quiz next week. And it'll be your last for a few weeks. So make sure you tune in. Thank you so much. Wait, have I done the end credits? No, I hadn't done the end credits. Oh, let's do the end credits quickly. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of... let's do that. No, none of that. None of that. Was it just that? What was it? Almost drama. See, this is why you should have a video section so you don't have to watch me doing this. And then finally, what was the last bit we did? A lot of TB Douglas, a lot of TB getting involved. Happy Easter all. Thank you. Happy Easter, everybody. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. And I will see you next week. Let's chocolate it up.
Thank you for watching, you've gladdened me greatly. Now if you want more art, you don't need to wait. We can art up whenever, there's no timetable. So create some stuff anytime you are able. A poem, a sculpture, a meme or a doodle. Try out them all, the whole kit and caboodle. But if you need help with the what and the how, I'll be back very soon with more art right now.